Now, how do you decide what to read? How do you discover papers to read, and how do you decide whether or not you want to read them? Well, it's made much easier if you have a really clear research topic in mind that you want to understand. So if, for example, you've got to write a coursework essay for an MSc module, then look very carefully at the title that you've been set and focus all your reading around the title, and if the title is a question, around the question in that title. That will help you to be really focused in the way you read the scientific literature, and try to avoid getting distracted, because just to read everything that's written on that particular topic will take you very many days. Now, you need to find a foothold in the literature to get started, and for each of our essay topics we've provided a few suggested papers that you could look at to get your first foothold. Another way you can get a foothold is to go to Google Scholar and just put in the topic that you want to understand, that you want to do more research on, and do a search on that, and Google Scholar will come up with a whole load of academic papers on that topic. You can then scan through, choose them by title, and then look at the abstracts and decide whether or not they're relevant enough for you to read. Then as you read them, do keep your question in mind, and that will help you focus on the bits of the different papers that are really relevant to your specific question. To expand your reading of the literature, there are several things you can do. One is to look at the bibliographies of the papers you've already found, and that will point you to further relevant literature. Another thing is to go onto Google Scholar, pull up a paper that you found useful, and then search for papers that have subsequently cited that paper. So if you have a paper that was published in 2016 that was very valuable to you, look for papers published in 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020 that cited that paper. They will probably be relevant to you if they've cited a paper that you have found really useful. Then in those papers you can look at what they cite and what have cited them, and in that way you can navigate your way around the relevant scientific literature. What's really good is to be able to keep up to date with new papers that are coming out at the moment on a particular research topic, and this is something that you'll really need to do when you come to do your research project at the end of your MSc. You'll be working on a single topic for several months, and there'll be new papers that come out during that time on your research topic, and you'll want to be reading them and citing them when you write up your project. And so you could set up a Google alert on Google Scholar to tell you when a certain topic has a paper published about it. Or you can set up an alert that will tell you when a certain paper is cited. So if you have a paper that's a really important one in your research area, set up a citation alert on that paper, and you are very likely to be alerted whenever an important paper is published within your research area. These are really valuable ways of discovering new papers and making sure that you're up to date with everything.